Kathleen Penner from Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today we have Kim from Viking Cruises, and she's going to talk to us about a wonderful overview of her product today.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thanks for inviting me. It's always exciting to be able to talk to new people about some of our incredible destinations, and we do sail all around the world. So today what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about each one of our products, just give you a little taster or a teaser. Think of it as a buffet or a smorgasbord where we'll get a little taste of everything. And as I was saying to Kathleen before we get started, if there's something you really want to hear more about, we can come back and do something a little bit more in depth. So let's get started. Viking is a company that has a variety of different products sailing around the world, and we're very focused on destination, creating culturally rich experiences for you, and we curate those very specifically for the interest of our guests that are traveling with us. So we do travel around the world. We travel to 7 different continents, 95 countries, 403 ports of call, 5 different oceans. We visit 20 rivers around the world and 5 Great Lakes. So even if you want to sail a little bit closer to home, you have that opportunity. And I'm going to give you a little taste of that as well. But let's talk a little bit about who Viking is to start with. First of all, we've been around for a long time. We started in 1997 with our river ships sailing in Russia. We're the only company that owns ships in Russia and have been operating there for 23 years. It's a fantastic destination, so I'll give you a little update on that as well. But that's where we started. We've expanded throughout the world. We now have 74 river ships that will be sailing on the rivers around the world. We have 8 beautiful ocean ships that are small ocean ships. We have 1 Mississippi ship that will be joining our fleet in 2022. And we have 2 beautiful newly built state-of-the-art expedition ships that will be joining our fleet in 2021. One of the key things for us is that our ships are owned and operated. And so no matter which one of those products you travel on, you're going to have the same experience and the same inclusions, and you'll feel at home. You'll be able to feel like you can move from one to the other, and there are enough similarities that it's not going to be a different experience. We want to create that unique, unified Viking experience across all of our products. We are with small ships where we can spend more time in port. On the ships, on the river ships in Europe, we've been able to purchase docking locations, and we're in the process of doing some of that in the Mississippi as well, so that our guests have access to some of the best docking locations along the rivers, and that allows them more time in port and less time getting there. All of our ships are small, our ocean ships. This is an example, 930 guests. Our river ships are between 150 and 200 passengers. So small and intimate, it's easy to get to know people and to be able to move easily on and off the vessels without long lineups. You will find serene Scandinavian spaces on all of our ships. Our decor is very much that open, airy, beautiful, sort of unobtrusive space that you'll find with Scandinavian decor. The whole concept of Scandinavian decorating is to bring the outdoors in through lots and lots of light and light-colored woods and stone and a lot of natural feeling and materials. And you'll see that throughout our fleet. Lots and lots of beautiful art. We have live music and lots of surprises as we travel throughout all of our ships. So we design our ships for the adventurer, for the curious traveler, and we call it the thinking person's cruise. And I think for a lot of us that are looking for those more further afield experiences, we're looking for destination experiences. We're looking for immersion. We're looking for soft adventure. We may not want to go on those long hikes and sleep in a tent, but we still have that sense of adventure in our souls, and we want to be able to enjoy some of those activities. So we know that you are traveling to explore, to learn, to understand, to spend time with like-minded people, and we are helping you design those experiences even before you leave with some of our filmographies, our cultural videos. We have recommended reading lists and filmography lists so that you can prepare before you go. I know I love um, to do a little research before I leave so that I know that I'm not going to miss anything when I get there. So it's one of those things that we recognize in our customers. We also want you to enjoy some of the destination experiences from a culinary point of view. So we do offer a variety of menus on board that include a changing menu every day, one that focuses on the destination that we're visiting that particular day. And also we have always available steak, Caesar salad, chicken, and salmon. So if you're looking for that comfort food, you can always find it on the menus. And then our onshore experience is really focused on immersing you. And we break it up into three different areas. We do it through local life, working world, and what we call privileged access. Now, local life is the one that I love the most because I love to peek in people's houses. I like to go to the markets. I like to see how people live. I really want to understand the culture from a much more personal way. We a lot of our guests love that too. So through our local life experience, we have host families that invite you into their homes. There are opportunities to go shopping with the chef. There are lots of different things that will give you those personal experiences from trying a local banya in Russia, which is a local sauna experience, to visiting local schools that will give you a chance to meet with the kids and learn a little bit about what's behind the curtain, so to speak. Our working world experiences teach you about the economy of the area, and that might include visiting a winery or going in France to Cognac and learning about the brandy industry. Or if you're sailing through the coast of Croatia to go and learn a little bit about the revival of the olive oil industry there. So lots of cool things. And if you're a car enthusiast in Europe, we do have access to the Mercedes and the BMW factories, so you can check out that as well. And then privileged access allows us to step behind the curtain, so to speak. And that might include things like our relationship with the Viennese Voice Choir that allows you to go in and sit in a rehearsal, not just go to the concert, but to actually go in and sit in the rehearsal and meet the boys and their residents and have a personal conversation. We also have an opportunity to go behind the scenes at the Hermitage, as well as the Swedish Opera House. There's lots of different experiences that will give you those more immersive, in-depth experiences that we all love. Now, what do we include? This is one of the best things about river cruising and about Viking cruising that I love. Because I don't know about you, but I'm really tired of the nickel and diming on some of the bigger ships nowadays. I realize that that's part of the trend. As those ships get bigger, it's important to have different activities, and those things cost money. But what I love about sailing on our small ship experience or on a Viking cruise is that we include virtually everything, and you don't have to reach in your pocket to pay for extras. Now, we don't include everything because we know we don't want to charge people for things they don't use, or just a small minority of a group does. So let me go through what we do include. A shore excursion in each port of call. All your meals are included. We have a choice of dining venues, and those are all complimentary on all of our vessels: Ocean, River, Mississippi, and Expedition. We include the specialty coffees and teas. You don't have to pay extra for those. Bottled water is included. Wi-Fi is included. The in-room entertainment system is included. You don't have to look for fine print for extra costs for port charges or government fees. And as I mentioned, alternate dining rooms, even on our ocean expedition, are included as well. So those give you some ideas. So let me share some of the destinations that we visit on our river ships. First of all, one of our most popular is the Grand European. This is a 15-day, 4-country, 11 guided tour experience. And this is about 50% of our first-time guests will choose this one first. Even if they've been and traveled in Europe extensively, as I have, I love this idea because we tend to travel from large city to large city without stopping in some of the little small out of the way places along the way. So one of the things that this does is take you into those little medieval villages. You get a chance to see those iconic cities of Amsterdam, Cologne, Vienna, and Budapest, but you also get a chance to dig a little deeper into places like Bamberg, which is known for the smoked beer, or Regensburg, with the oldest sausage kitchen in Europe, or Cologne, which is one of my favorite places for shopping. These are wonderful cities and experiences that you can enjoy. And our staff is from the local areas, so they love to share their own personal experiences and insights as well. Now, I told you started in Russia, and this is one of my favorite itineraries as well. This one is called the Waterways of the Tsars, and it takes you from 3.5 days in St. Petersburg through the 5 different waterway systems in Russia, through the rural part of Russia, which is really the heart of the history of the country, and the opportunity to meet some of the locals in places like Yaroslavl and Uglitch, Kiji, which is an outdoor museum, and also Mandragi, which is an artist colony where you can buy some beautiful art, including the Matryoshka dolls, which you can actually make your own. And then on to Moscow for 3.5 days. So another wonderful itinerary. This is where we started, and I do encourage you, if you really want to see Russia, this is the way to do it, and it's a fantastic way to explore. We also visit France, and we have a number of itineraries in France, which include our northern France itinerary, Paris to Normandy. We do France to Provence, the Burgundy Beaujolais wine area, and we also go to Bordeaux. So what we've done with this one is to take 2 8-day itineraries and put them together with a train trip between Paris and Lyon and called it France's Finest. And I love this itinerary because France is a very diverse country with different dialects, different history and influences, different foods, different wines. So it's a wonderful way to see parts of France. With this one, we start off in Paris. We have a couple of days to explore there. We travel up the beautiful Seine, stopping in some wonderful places like Giverny, which is where Claude Monet did a lot of painting, up to Rouen, where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, and then along, we spend a whole day at the Normandy beaches, which is a little bit of Canadian history on the beaches of France, and a fantastically memorial and emotional stop. And then back to Paris, on to Lyon, which is in the heart of the Beaujolais and Burgundy wine area. So, of course, there's wine tasting. It's a culinary center with some of the best chefs of France have their restaurants, and then onward through the beautiful Roman ruins of Provence down to Avignon and Arles, famous, of course, for Van Gogh, and also the beautiful Provençal cuisine. So wonderful places to see. Here are some of the other places that we visit. You can see lots of choices in Europe. We also go to Ukraine, to China, and into Egypt. If you're interested, Egypt is an up-and-coming destination. Obviously not right now, but I think in 2021, 2022, there's great opportunity there, and it is a really fascinating place to visit. As I mentioned, we also launched our Mississippi product just about a month ago, and it's doing extremely well. We are building a brand new ship that will start sailing in 2022. This is a non-paddle wheeler ship. It's a hybrid between our river and our ocean ships, and it's going to be visiting some fantastic itineraries along the Mississippi. So you can start off in the December-January period in the southern part of the Mississippi, in and out of New Orleans for 8 days. As we expand a little bit into more of the spring and into the early summer, we will be traveling between New Orleans and Memphis, and of course Memphis is the home of Elvis. It's also the home of Memphis barbecue, and Vicksburg is one of the stops which is famous for one of the major turning point battles in the Civil War. We also will move up to the Heartland, America's Heartland, which sails between St. Louis and St. Paul, and we'll be visiting some of the important places along this part of the Mississippi. Of course, Hannibal, which is the home of Mark Twain, and where he set his stories for Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. The Quad Cities, which is the home of the John Deere tractor. So if you've got any prairie roots, you might find that interesting. Red Wing, which is known for the Red Wing shoes and pottery if you're a collector, and up into St. Paul, Minnesota. And then we also have an itinerary that goes for full 15 days running between New Orleans and St. Paul. So if you want to see the whole thing, you can do that as well. We also have beautiful ocean ships, as I mentioned. We have 8 of them, and we've been recognized as one of the #1 ocean cruise lines for the last 5 years since we started operating by Condé Nast Travel and Leisure and also Cruise Credit. The nice thing about these ships is they're 930 passengers. They're under 50,000 and tons. They're all verandas, and the ship is designed for you to look out, not inward, which is what most big ocean ships have now. And it's all about being in the destination. So some of our key itineraries include the Viking homelands. And with our itineraries, we do stay overnight in our embarkation and disembarkation ports. So in this case, Stockholm and Bergen, and guests will have a chance to explore those cities. We also stop in the heart of the city. So we dock in the middle of Old Stockholm, not at the cruise terminal, which is about an hour and a half from the center part of Old Stockholm. We dock in Copenhagen, right near the Little Mermaid. We spend overnight in St. Petersburg. We visit Tallinn and Gdansk, all beautiful countries to explore with great history, and then up into the fjords of Norway. We're also doing some beautiful Mediterranean itineraries. This is an example. So overnight in Venice, overnight in Barcelona, and then we do the Croatian coast. We sail up the Italian coast, visiting Naples and Rome and Pisa, Monte Carlo along the French Riviera, and into Barcelona. So there's a variety of itineraries here that will give you lots of choices to explore that beautiful area, including Egypt and Istanbul. We also have the Caribbean. So if you want to give us a try, the Caribbean might be the first place that starts to open up after this COVID-19 crisis. It may be areas that we can go to first. So keep this in mind. Again, unlike a lot of the ships, we do spend more time in port and less time getting there. So for this itinerary, we actually have 11 days with 9 ports of call. So you do get time to explore. And remember, we do include a short excursion in each port of call. In addition to that, we have our variety of ocean itineraries. You can see the number of Scandinavian, that's our specialty, the Mediterranean. We're also going to different Caribbean ports, Australia, New Zealand, and also we're doing combination itineraries. So you can try our river and our ocean cruises on the same trip. So you can do the Rhine for 7 days and the fjords of Norway, or you can do the Grand European that I mentioned and the fjords of Norway for 23 days. Finally, our last new product is our expedition product, and these ships are being built specifically for us with lots of outdoor deck space. They will be traveling to the polar regions of Svalbard, north of Norway, from Tromsø and the northern part of Norway up to the island of Svalbard, which is an amazing place filled with unique flora and fauna, and also lots of wildlife, and then into Antarctica. So we will be doing landings in all over Antarctica, sailing between Ushuaia and Buenos Aires. And our ship is equipped with all kinds of great equipment, including 2 yellow submarines that seat 6 people that are complimentary to our guests for expedition exploration. We have kayaks, we have zodiacs, and we have what we call ribs, which are rubber inflatable boats. They seat 12, and they can be launched from inside the ship, like on a boat ramp, and they go down into the water. So if you're not quite as agile and can't really, maybe don't want to handle a kayak or a zodiac, the great thing about these is you can get on the ship, you can get off inside the ship, you don't have to get wet, you can still see everything. So fantastic experience. Yeah, and the other cool thing with this, Kathleen and I were talking earlier, is that we're also going to the Great Lakes. So we'll be doing 4 sailings in the Great Lakes. Let me show you the itineraries. So Antarctica, we've got a variety of itineraries. We've got Arctic, and we also have the Great Lakes. So we'll be going from Milwaukee to Thunder Bay. We'll be going from New York to Toronto, Toronto to Milwaukee. We'll be visiting cool places like Mackinac Island, which is a car-free 4-mile island, 4-mile around island with lots of history. There's a lot of War of 1812 history here. Lots of old forts. And then, of course, some incredible flora and fauna of the Canadian Shield. Some fun places. Even Thunder Bay has some unique things like the Persian bun, which is a deep fried cinnamon bun with cherry icing. So lots of interesting things to see. And finally, we are going to the Galapagos. Yeah, Kathleen, did you have a question?
Explored area. I don't think, there's hardly any ships, if there's ever been a ship, on the Great Lakes. So I think it's so awesome that you're doing that for those of us that live in that area, to sort of check out areas you don't get to, and you don't have to drive far to get to the port then. Really
No,
is.
it's fantastic, and I think we are a little bit remiss in visiting our own country. It's been
Yeah.
further on my bucket list, and as I've been learning more about this area, I have to say I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot to offer on the Mississippi and on the Great Lakes. For those who maybe don't want to get on an airplane, you can take via rail, for that matter, across country. Really make it an expedition and really explore our beautiful country on some
That's
of the
that
itineraries.
we
So
for
yeah,
our area. Because I'm driving distance from Niagara Falls, yet how often do I go see the falls? I
I
just don't make
know.
people come from, all over the world to see the falls, and I'm just like, it's the falls, what's the big deal? So it's really neat to see your own area. It's great.
Yeah, I think I'm super excited and I think it's got huge potential. And that's why I want to say it's you don't have to be active to do an expedition experience in the Great Lakes because of the equipment. And then we brought on all kinds of specialists. We have a lot of scientists that are going to be doing active research. People like the Department of Ornithology at Cornell University, NOAA, which is the Northern Atmospheric and Oceanic Research Center. They're super excited to be working with us because they can do active research that they can't have access to because the ships that they have access to are not big enough. So they're really excited, and you guys will get a chance to enjoy that. We're also going to the Galapagos. For those who are interested, they can see the Galapagos and Peru and Machu Picchu, which I've done, which is really magical. So I know I probably talked a little too much, Kathleen, so jump in if you've got questions, but that kind of gives you an overview of the Viking experience, and then we can dig a little deeper as we go forward into the future, and you can explore from home until you're ready to explore in person.
Absolutely. It's important to keep dreaming right now because we're all stuck at home. Our ideas of where we can go is limited to the front yard or the backyard. So it's great that we can keep dreaming and just look ahead and to plan all these great trips that are going to be coming up.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think it's uh, I'm super excited about traveling again. I am very anxious for us to start, and but in the meantime, I'm going to look a little closer to home as well. I live in Vancouver, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more stay vacationing, and I think I think all of us will. So let's dream a little bit about where we can go and what's closer to home for us to plan for 2021, 2022, and beyond.
Absolutely. And I thank you for taking the time for meeting with us today and going over the brand. And it was nice to see some of the ocean ships. And that's a really neat thing that you said that they're all the same on the inside. So it really feels like sister ships. So you know where the dining room is, you know where all the places are that you want to go to. And I think that's a really neat selling point in terms of that. And I think that's a great thing that you guys do that.
Yeah, I love that fact too because you always feel comfortable. Sometimes
Mm.
you lose time just trying to figure out where you are on a new ship. And sometimes I find on some of the bigger ships, I never find my way around. So I love the fact that these are identical and you do have that sense of comfort as soon as you step on board. And one of the things we've done with the design is to create beautiful spaces that are designed for conversation. And it's all about engaging with each other. And I think we're learning more and more during this crisis that connection is important and finding ways to share that connection is important. And that's the way we've designed our ships. And I think people will really enjoy it. So I hope you'll come and join us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. 2, 1. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this week's show with Viking Cruise Lines. It's really exciting to see that they have some great itineraries in store, and I hope you really enjoyed watching it. Remember to like and subscribe to see more content like this. Also, next week, we're going to be meeting with Regent Seven Seas. I'm going to be chatting with Beverly. And Regent Seven Seas is an ocean-going cruise line, and they are fully all-inclusive. So it's really neat to see the stuff that they have. So remember to like, subscribe, and come and join us next week. Thank you. Bye.